Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 16th of June. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That will get us to the beginning of July. I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say, but first, a video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the EC 30-day look ahead for the UK and the rest of Europe as well. Please check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Like, share, subscribe on the videos. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Thank you so much to the amazing James09J, our spanner, our moderator, James098. Thank you so much, James, for your super thanks that you gave to me and to GavsWeatherVids on the autumn update on Sunday. We released the first autumn update on Sunday. If you have not checked out, then have a look at it. It's quite an interesting video. And James gave a super thanks in the comment. So here it is. Here's James's super thanks flagged up and highlighted. I've also pinned it as well, as I always do if I get a super thanks. So James saying, autumn updates already. Just say loving this year's autumn gift. Thanks so much, Rich, for that. Great work as always, Richard. And a big thanks to Gav for going through this. And of course, Shrine 2, hashtag Team Gav. Thank you so much, James. That's incredibly generous of you, my friend. Thank you so much. If you'd like to give a super thanks to me and to GavsWeatherVids, all you need to do is find the super thanks button. It's normally here somewhere along this bar. So if it's not there, it's going to be behind the 3 little dots there. You just click that and you find the thanks button behind the 3 little dots. So sometimes it will be along this top bar here, and sometimes it'll be hidden behind the 3 little dots. But thank you so much, James. That's incredibly generous of you. Thanks so much, my friend. And of course, thank you so much to all of you who super thanks, super chat, donate through PayPal and whatnot. Amazing, incredible. Thank you so much for the way that you support me, GavsWeatherVids, and of course, more recently, Rainbows too. Right, let's crack on with the video, Ben. Thanks so much, everybody, and thanks so much, James. Right, let's crack on. Let's start off centering temperature. The CT is currently sitting at 13.1, which is 1 degree below the 61 to 1990 average. Quite a cool start to June, isn't it? That's provisional to yesterday. To the 5th. I reckon that will tick up later in the week as warmer, more humid and unstable air will be arriving towards the end of the week. However, at the moment, a cool start to June. That's despite the upper air temperature being above average as well. So just go to show that the upper air temperatures don't always tell you the entire story. And this last few days has been a great example of that. Anyway, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. We are above average at the moment. We're still bringing lots of cloud on these east northeast winds, and so that is limiting the temperatures. Now, the upper air temperatures are lifting up as we go through the rest of this week and into the weekend, becoming pretty warm through the weekend to the early part of next week. Then into the second half of June, possibly just easing back a little bit. But overall, from an upper air temperature perspective, the next week or two looking quite warm. As far as precipitation is concerned, lots of dry weather through the rest of the week, but as you get to the weekend and next week, definitely a lot more in the way of precipitation spikes. We could be drawing to an end of this prolonged dry spell. Some places have gone a month or more without any measurable precipitation. We could be heading towards the end of that by the weekend and into next week. Certainly looking more showery, let's put it that way, if not definitively wet, but certainly a lot more in way of precipitation spikes than we've seen probably since the start of May. Temperature anomalies from the 6th to the 14th of June are coming out above average, so things will indeed be warming up soon. Precipitation anomalies from the 6th to 14th of May still driving average for some western regions, but nearer normal elsewhere. Certainly that does imply that there's going to be more precipitation around, even if it's not particularly wet. The latest info map from earthnullschool.net shows that high pressure is still sitting over Scotland and in the North Atlantic as well, and around that we bring in those cool northeasterly winds once again. And they're feeding in lots of cloud with them as well to more eastern and central parts of the country. Right, all important chart data then. This is how the latest UK Met Euro road is looking for midnight on Friday. High pressure still in the ascendancy, sitting to the north of the country, low pressure off the coast of Spain, Portugal, edging northwards and trying to bring some showers with it. Now, as we go through the weekend, the grains become much slacker, so we are starting to import some warmer, more humid air up from the south, but with the gradients becoming slacker, it implies there could well be some heavy showers, maybe even thundery downpours breaking out through the weekend into the beginning of next week in this more humid and unstable air. Icon, again, showing that high pressure sits to the north of the country on Friday. Through Saturday, Sunday, the gradients start getting slacker, and eventually we begin to bring this thundery trough up from the south, as well as we go from Sunday into Monday. That could start to bring some heavy downpours with it too. That's how I finish up with Icon. So still the high pressures over Scandinavia, low pressure in the Atlantic. We're looking very slack here. We're in what we call a cold, which means we're neither under high pressure or low pressure yet. Any weather type in a cold. I suspect there will be some heavy downpours given the air will probably be quite warm and humid. The GFS midnight run, again, much of a muchness for Friday with that high pressure to our north, northeast, low pressure away to the south and the southwest. Over the weekend, the air starts to turn more humid and warmer as it drifts up from the south, and we start getting these shallow troughs developing that could bring some heavy downpours with them as well. Into the early part of next week, again, we've got slack gradients, high pressure building around Greenland and Iceland here, low pressure beginning start trying to develop in the Atlantic. Actually, we start to bring some low pressure in off the Atlantic as we get just beyond day 10. This was 17th of June with low pressure meandering in from the Atlantic. It does look a little bit more unsettled here with more low pressure coming in from the west by the time you get through to the 20th of June. Could that be a change in the third week of month? Something more unsettled possibly, but it's a long way off. And then the GFS 6Z, again, showing that we have the high pressure of Scandinavia at the end of week into weekend. The gradients become slacker, the air becomes warmer and more humid. We might start to generate some heavy showers and some downpours into the weekend through to the early part of next week. Through next week, again, gradients looking very slack. Shallow troughs over the northwest of Europe could deliver further heavy showers and or thunderstorms. And beyond that, low pressure just generally sort of taking over gradually as we go beyond day 10, especially across more southern areas. Still with a blocking area of high pressure though in the North Atlantic and up towards Greenland. And eventually we start bringing, with the GFS 6, so start bringing low pressure in off the Atlantic, similar in a similar fashion to the midnight run. So we might be seeing the first hints here of like a proper breakdown by the third week of month. Of course, this is coming into Glastonbury time frame as well with this area of low pressure. Glasto updates proper will begin on Friday, but this is like the beginning part of the Glasto period with these areas of low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. So might be a few concerned Glasto goers, but of course it's a very, very long way off. It's over 2 weeks away, so I wouldn't be overly worried about it just yet. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Another 77-ish subscribers will get us to 16k. We're at 15.9k now. We'll get us to 16k with another 77 or so subscribers. We're getting so close to 16k. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, GM. Again, with that high pressure to the north as we go into the end of week and the weekend. Then the grains becoming a little bit slacker, especially with this little low in the south, possibly bringing some heavy showers of thunderstorms to southern counties over the weekend and into the beginning of next week. That's day 10. High pressure going further north up towards Greenland, possibly starting to allow some lower pressure to move up from the south. And then the ECM looks like this. So once more, we've got a shallow trough moving up from the south as we go through the weekend into the early part of next week. Could trigger some heavy showers and thunderstorms, but they're a little bit different to the other models. The ECM brings high pressure back, strengthens high pressure again through next week. So as we go days 8, 9, 10, high pressure takes over from Scandinavia. Grains are still slack, but that is a drier, warmer scenario with high pressure more or less still dominating the scene through the middle to that part of next week. This is a precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from meteo.com. Not much happening until we get to the weekend, and then we start getting these downpours moving up from the south. Could be thunderstorms included in that. That looks particularly lively there. That's midnight on the 12th of June. So what day? The 12th of June. Let's just very quickly go back. So that's midnight Sunday to Monday. That shallow trough just there. That looks like a big area of potentially thunderstorms there. Interesting. Across central parts of England and Wales. May carry on trending northwards, but further downpours through to the early part of next week. And then the high pressure re-strengthens, so later next week, so all of the showers and storms and whatnot start dying out, and we go back to drier and potentially quite warm conditions. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today. 4-day temp gets us to the 16th of June. 13 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the north. Around that, we bring in the winds from an easterly direction, mostly dry, especially for more northern areas. Could be a little bit showering in the south. We've got 11 with high pressure more or less over the top of the coast, actually mostly dry and warm. Another 11 with high pressure somewhere between Iceland and Norway, and again around that we should have a lot of dry weather to be enjoyed. That does include the control and the operational run. We've got 10 with high pressure more towards Iceland, so a little bit more of an easterly type flow, could bring some showy weather into the south, and 6 with high pressure around Iceland and Greenland. It's going to be mostly dry, but with winds in from the northeast, we could have a coolest sort of feel. And then 2 week time, these are the options that we've got. We'll go to the 21st of June, 25 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over and to the east of the country, low pressure bows in the Atlantic. So that's trying to bring more unsettled conditions in off the Atlantic, I think. 18 with low pressure over Scandinavia, high pressure around Greenland and Iceland. That's going to bring the wind in from probably quite a cool northerly direction. And then 8 with high pressure right over the top of the country. We might be seeing a trend here to more unsettled conditions into the second half of June. But it's very early days, and it's only being first hints of it, so it's definitely not definitive, but there are 1 or 2 hints here that we might be starting to see a change, something more unsettled into the second half of June. CFS Weeklies finally, these are 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 6th to the 12th of June. The coming week is dominated by high pressure over and to the northern country, lots of dry and warm weather to enjoy. Week 2 will be the 13th to the 19th of June, high pressure more towards Iceland, then low pressure in the Atlantic starting to break underneath the high pressure. So that could be starting to turn a bit more showery for more southern and western regions. Week 3 will be the 20th to 26th of June, low pressure around Greenland and Iceland, high pressure over France and Spain, winds back in from the west. So that's going to be most unsettled in the north, driest, warmest in the south. And then week 4 brings the high pressure back. It's the 27th of June to the 3rd of July, high pressure building over west of Europe. That should return us to mostly dry and warm weather. We'll see about that. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. As I say, around 77 subscribers is now all we're going to need to get ourselves to 16K. So subs have moved very, very quickly over the last few days. Please keep them coming, and let's get to 16,000 subscribers as soon as we can. Thank you so much. Right, just take care tomorrow. I have a 6am UK weather forecast, USA forecast, that's certainly coming up tomorrow. And we're going to be live streaming our 10 to 14 day at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. So if you're around the channel, then please check in at 6. Wednesday live streams are back from tomorrow. I shall see you live then. But for this video and for today's videos, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.